All right, so you ready to be hypnotized?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I need to see your arm, your hand. This is called a handshake induction. So what I need you to do, all right, so real quickly, you remember when I was describing it was cataplexy to you? So where kind of muscle paralysis.
Right.
The arm is limp, loose, relaxed.
Yes.
That's what I need you to do with your arm if you can.
Right.
And the way that works is basically like put your arm on my fingers, rest it. Okay, so if I move my fingers, your arm would just completely drop because you're not supporting it with your own weight.
Right.
Right? So like you're still supporting it.
A little bit, yeah.
Just complete dead weight. Complete dead weight. Becoming more and more relaxed. Complete dead weight. Let it drop. I'm gonna pick it up. You're not gonna help me pick it up. You just let me. Let it drop. Let it drop. No. Okay. And then entire arm, you have to relax completely. Loose, limp like a noodle. A wet noodle. Like a ramen noodle. There we go. You seem relaxed. It almost looks like you're in trance. But I know you're not. Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. So that's what I need you to do with your arm.
Okay.
So all right, let me see here. So remember, just kind of space out, go into trance. Don't try to like overanalyze anything. You know.
Right.
I will teach you how to do it afterwards.
Cool.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So let me see your hand. Okay. So just double checking. So you're still supporting your own weight. So like, let me give you a demonstration of how it feels. Right. So I'm gonna give you a demonstration. So shake my hand.
Oh.
Wiggle it.
Okay.
Wiggle it.
Oh.
Like side to side.
Oh, bro. Okay. I see what you mean now.
Yeah. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Awesome. Excellent. That's what I need. Okay. So first we're gonna start with a few breaths, or just a couple. All right. So I'm gonna guide you with my hand. So breathe with my hand. Okay. So breathe in. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. And exhale. 1, 2, 3. One more. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Feel more relaxed and calm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sedated, tired, sleepy, drowsy.
Yeah.
Kind of just trancing out. Okay. Good. All right. So let me see your hand. Okay. So you're gonna just focus on the sound of my voice. You're gonna just look me in my eyes. You're not gonna think about anything else. Just listen to my instructions and obey the instructions. So every time I move my hand and your hand back and forth, you're gonna feel more and more tired. Your eyelids are gonna become heavier and heavier and heavier. You're feeling more and more tired. Every second that passes by, you're becoming more and more tired, intensely focused on the sound of my voice. All you hear is the sound of my voice. Your thoughts are gone. You're only listening to the sound of my voice as you become more and more tired and relaxed. Now I want you to take one more deep breath for me, okay? While I continue waving your hand. Okay? So inhale, 1, 2, 3. Hold it, 1, 2, 3, and then exhale. 1, 2, 3. Sweep. Deeper, deeper, all the way down. Just like that, into an amazing state of relaxation. I'm gonna go ahead and check for cataplexy. Completely limp, loose, relaxed. You are now in trance. So I'm going to give you 3 suggestions. The first suggestion is whenever I snap my fingers and say the word sleep, you return back to this amazing, calm state of relaxation and trance. And 2, you're going to respond to my suggestions in and out of trance. So you'll emerge from this trance into, you'll remain in trance, but you'll be in waking trance, where you're able to communicate, talk, converse, and contemplate and comprehend the situation. I'm double checking, making sure that you are in trance. So, anyways, you'll remain in a somnambulous trance when you emerge. And then the last suggestion I'm giving you is you're going to forget the number 3. You're going to count my fingers on my hand. You're going to use your index finger to point at each finger that you count, and you'll count them very loudly and clearly. So you're going to count 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. You're not going to be able to remember the number 3. You do not know what the number 3 is. It is completely erased and gone from your memory. You're going to skip over it and skip to the next logical number. So again, you're going to count my fingers, touching each fingertip with your fingertip, your next finger. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. And again, whenever I snap my fingers, you return back to trance, and you will emerge from this trance still in a somnambulistic trance, susceptible and receptive to my suggestions, responding to every suggestion, in and out of trance. So I'm going to wake you up from when I count to 1 from 3, 3, 2, and 1. Wake up. Okay. How many fingers am I holding up?
5.
Okay, can you count them?
1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
I have 6 fingers.
1, 2, 4, 5.
Okay. So I want you to forget your name. You do not remember your name now. What's your name?
Che.
Nice and loud too, for the camera.
Che. No.
Okay, you can remember it now? Remember it now? What is it?
Orlando.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have you think that your name is number 3, and that the number 3 is Orlando right now. So, how many fingers am I holding up?
1, 2, Orlando. 1, 2, Orlando, 4, 5.
There's 5
Whoa.
fingers, right? There's nothing missing. But what's going on? Count it again.
1, 2, Orlando, 4. 1.
Okay, so what's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
My name's 3.
Pleasure to meet you, 3. Are you sure that's your name?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember your name now, and you remember the number 3. What's your name?
Orlando.
So, what did you think of that?
It was weird. Bro.
Intense, huh?
Bro, my mind was trying to figure out what was missing.
comprehended.
Yeah, like.
Alright, so I want you to also remember everything that I told you in trance very clearly. Do you remember everything?
Yeah.
Awesome. So the only suggestions active are the suggestion to respond to my suggestions in and out of trance, and to return to trance when I snap my fingers and say sleep. Okay. Alright, so the first suggestion I want to do for you is I want to, let's see. There's a lot of different suggestions I can do. Let me see. I want you to feel like you're stoned whenever I say hypnosis, and it's going to be like you smoke a fat blunt. Just got finished smoking a fat blunt. Every time it feels exactly like it, highest you have ever been. Okay. Every time I say the word hypnosis, when I count from 3 to 1, it's going to happen. Okay. 3, 2, 1, hypnosis. How do you feel?
Hey, right now, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just like it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shit. My eyes feel all like drowsy and shit. I have cotton in mouth right now.
And every time I say the word hypnosis, it doubles. Hypnosis.
Yeah.
Hypnosis. Is it intensifying?
Mm-hmm.
So the hypnosis is working.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to take away the cotton mouth. But you have everything else.
Right.
And I want to only give you the good side effects, no negative side effects.
Okay.
Completely cognitive, coherent.
My eyes don't feel drowsy no more. I have moisture in my mouth now. I'm good. But I feel stoned. Like, I feel stoned still, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So do you want to set a suggestion program that in the future? We could do another one where you can have more like suggestions. Is like your fingers, right? So you could turn the suggestion on and off by just tapping your index and thumb middle and thumb, ring finger and thumb,
Pinky.
pinky and thumb.
Pinky.
It's non-intrusive. You can do it anywhere, not noticeable.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Get high as a kite.
It just.
Wherever.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yes.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to do index finger and thumb as weed?
No, I want to do pinky and thumb.
Pinky and thumb as weed?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then what about ecstasy, LSD, and mushrooms?
Probably not. No.
You don't want to do that? Okay. Is it okay if we tried to see if we can make you feel like you're on those just temporarily?
Mushrooms, yeah.
Mushrooms?
Yeah.
Okay. So ecstasy might be easier, but we can do mushrooms. Let me try this. So right now you're looking at me. I want you to blink. Okay. And every blink, you notice that you have a brief loss in vision, right? But not very noticeable.
Right.
And it's going to become much more noticeable when you no longer see my right hand. Right now. And notice anything weird? How many fingers am I holding up?
Like 4, 5, 4, 4. Or enough 5. 5.
All right. So remove that suggestion. So you can see, you were able to see my hand. All right. So let's see. So that's kind of the thing about the mushrooms. Does that make sense? So I want you to. Okay. Do you like hot tubs?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna make you feel like you're in a hot tub, right? So when was the last time you were in a hot tub?
A month ago.
A month ago. Was it a very memorable experience? Yeah. So where was it?
It was in Parachute at Grand River. Grand River Hotel.
All right. So do you remember what it looked like?
Oh yeah.
Were you with anybody?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember? Was it indoor, outdoor?
Indoor.
Indoor. Okay. And you had the fluorescent lights. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You remember the
lights.
temperature of the water?
No, I don't. I know it had bubbles and stuff in it though. We were able to put the jets on it.
Okay. So do you remember sweating at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the temperature now?
It's probably 80, 85.
Okay. I mean, not the exact number.
Right.
That's not that important part.
Right.
Just more over the feeling. Can you visualize that? Can you imagine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I want you to imagine, because naturally when you get in a hot tub, you relax, right? So I want you to do that. So 3, you're sitting in the hot tub, very hot. Your skin is adjusting to the temperature. 2, you feel the jets on your back, relaxing your muscles. And 1, you begin relaxing and leaning back, letting go of all your tension and stress, enjoying that warm sensation. It's going to intensify, and you're in the hot tub right now. How do you feel?
Oh, bro. I feel the jets on my back right now.
Completely relaxed,
Yeah.
as if the hot tub was made out of the softest material, most comfortable material possible. Do you like it?
That was relaxing. I like that.
Are you still feeling that?
Like relax?
Are you still in the hot tub?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay.
No. I'm not in the hot tub no more. But I was
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and try. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Okay. You know the smell of pine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to just guided imagery, right? So imagine a forest, nature scene, right? Kind of like you woke up after camping at night, right? You walk out in the woods and you just smell pine, right? And of course there are going to be pine trees around. I mean, they might not all be pine trees, just whatever is easiest to imagine for you.
Right.
But you can smell the pine, very distinct, very specific, and very intense, overwhelming scent of pine. Now, overwhelmingly pleasant.
It reminds me of when I was younger. When I used to live up in California.
Yeah?
Yeah, like it reminds me of when I used to live up in California. Like straight up, like I can almost taste it in a
Yeah?
way. Yeah, does that
That's
make
what's up.
sense? I can almost taste it in my mouth in a way, like in the back of my throat too. Like
Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to take that away.
damn.
Normal. You really liked it, though.
Yeah, I did like
I
it.
want to bring
like,
back the pleasure for you.
Okay, cool. See this, I like. I like.
Yeah?
Yeah, it reminds me of my childhood.
Alright.
I like it a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So I'm trying to think of another suggestion to do. That would be a simple for like a demonstration. I want you to see. Okay, I'm gonna change the color of this cup to blue, dark blue. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you see a difference between these two colors?
They're the same.
Okay. Now I want them to be white. Okay. And then I want you to see it as if it's like waving in the wind, moving like a shrimp type of trip, just over these. And right now, intensified. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the shrimp experience. I want you to remember last time you did mushrooms. When was that?
3 months ago.
Okay. So you remember eating the mushrooms, right? Okay. What were you doing?
In the process, I was making a sandwich.
Making a sandwich.
Yeah, I was putting mushrooms in my sandwich.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So what other flavors were in that sandwich?
It was cheese, mayo. It was I like to put lime and lemon over my sandwich. Black pepper. It was ham, turkey.
Okay, I want you to taste that sandwich right now.
Oh, bro.
You're in for an experience, aren't you?
Oh, bro.
Yeah. Every second feels like 10 minutes. And now you're in that trip. It just peaked. Taste is gone. How do you feel?
I feel good, but I still smell the pine.
Yeah. I'm going to take away the pine. But you have a pleasant feeling.
Right, no, I feel good still, but like, I miss that pine.
Oh, you miss it?
Yeah.
Okay. So a comfortable level of pine.
Okay, it's not as intense, but like.
Okay. So do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The intensity that you like the most. So that could be more or less. Just you can turn it up or down, just kind of going off your comfort level. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So no taste in your mouth, right?
Right.
Okay. And are you tripping?
Am I tripping?
Yeah.
Over here, a little bit, yeah.
Okay. I want it to envelop the room, just like your last mushroom trip. Everything along those lines, and I want you to close your eyes. Okay. So you just ate the sandwich. You know this because you can smell the pine. The pine just reminds you of eating the sandwich. You made that association. And where are you?
In my kitchen.
In your kitchen. Okay. Where did you go after your kitchen?
I went to the skate park.
The skate park.
Skate park.
Skate park. Okay. Can you remember when it kicked in?
Took it around 10, kicked in around 10:30ish. I remember
10:30.
looking at the stars.
Okay. You saw the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want you to look at the stars. Do you remember what it looked like when you were tripping?
Oh, bro. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very intense. You saw colors. You saw
yeah,
things
3D.
moving, shining.
Yeah.
Maybe even patterns. Like the stars are dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you open your eyes, I'm going to put you back in trance right now. Is that all right? Okay. Sleep. Okay. Checking for cataplexy. Okay. So you have that experience. I want you to envision the stars right now. I want you to imagine what it looked like. Remember it. Remember it and experience it in your mind right now. When you open your eyes, you're still going to be tripping. When I count from 3 to 1, you're going to wake up and you're going to be tripping balls. 3, 2, 1, awake. Is it working now?
Yes. Bro.
Only pleasant side effects?
Bro.
I love that. I love that. You know it. You know it. You're tripping.
Fucking A.
Okay. Do you want the visuals more intense?
Yes.
Okay.
I love the visuals.
Okay. So right now you're at how much mushrooms was in that dose?
Like 8.
An 8.
Maybe a little bit more.
3.5 grams. Okay. So visuals are they just that intense or?
Oh, bro. When I was doing it, I take a lot of mushrooms, so like I seen it, but like I wasn't like full on. Oh, off it.
Can you see it right now?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Is it more intense than before?
No, it's about the same, but I like it.
So how about what dose do you want?
Give me like a quarter.
A quarter?
Yeah.
Okay, so 7 grams. Okay.
Yep.
So 7 grams. Can you see it?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Bro. Oh. Bro.
Do you want to throw in a hit of acid too or not?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's give you a tab of acid. Mix with the mushrooms. Because I laced those mushrooms with acid. And you didn't know it.
Bro, I'm like seeing lines shoot up, and then like it's all like expanding now with like waves going out at the same time, and then like the stars like going in and out like 3D in a way.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fucking A.
All right. Now I'm going to put you in the hot tub while you're tripping. So you're there's a hot tub in this room, and you're sitting in it. You can feel the jets on your back. You feel wet. You feel like you're in a swimming suit.
I feel relaxed, but I'm like tripping balls at the same time, so my mind's like running all over right now too. My body feels so relaxed.
Okay. And I want to have a song playing in the background. What's your favorite song?
Dear Mama by Tupac.
Okay. So you're going to hear it. This cup is a speaker. It's going to be coming from the cup. See the cup? Okay. So that's the speaker now. And I'm turning it on. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to turn down the volume so you can hear my voice. I'm going to turn it up. You're going to keep your attention on my fingers, right? Because I'm going to turn it up so loud that you won't be able to hear me talking. And then I'm going to turn it back down so you can't again. Okay. So turn it all the way up. And you're not even able to hear me, are you? Orlando, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. So, comfortable, are you? Can you hear me perfectly well?
Yeah.
Regardless if you like it well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I can hear you good.
And you can hear
I still
music?
hear the music in the background, yeah.
Awesome. So, comfortable setting for you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Still in the hot tub. Still tripping balls still too.
And anything else that you'd like to try? Do you want to try a dose of ecstasy too?
Can you make me feel drunk too?
I can.
Let's do that.
All right. So, you want to feel drunk or ecstasy?
Drunk.
Okay. So, you're also drunk.
Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. Bro.
You're tripping drunk balls.
I've seen tracers and all the fucking tracers. Oh my god.
Is it intense?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Bro.
Okay, I want it to dance to the music. I want it to dance to the music.
Dance?
Do you like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's moving with the beat. Like the vocals, whatever you want. Whatever your mind visualizes.
Or every time the bass hits like on the speaker, it like sends waves this way. Like I see it up there with the stars.
You can
and
see
shit.
the vibration.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely.
Your eyes are peeled back, bro. I'm gonna just take the camera to show a little bit better.
Like it
Awesome.
just a bunch of waves. Like
Yeah.
every time that bass hits, I just feel it.
Okay. So now,
Feel it throughout my body. Oh, bro.
do you want to try the invisible hypnotist suggestion? That was where he was only able to see the pocket watch, but not me. Okay. So we built up. So that should work and be effective now. I'm gonna grab the pocket watch. Okay. So I'm gonna disappear. You're not gonna be able to see me. You're only gonna be able to see what's in my hands, and not the gloves. You'll be able to see what I'm holding. It's gonna be floating. It's not gonna be scary. It's gonna be normal to you. Okay. Any suggestions I give you are not gonna be a scary experience or uncomfortable. And if you cannot activate the suggestions without feeling uncomfortable or scared, you will not activate the suggestions. Okay. Awesome. So I'm invisible now. You can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's like floating. Oh, bro.
Okay. And you can see me now.
Hey.
Yo.
Where did you go?
Oh, just right off to Neverland, man.
Neverland.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. So there's a lot of different things I could have you do. I could have you cluck like a chicken if you want.
A chicken?
Yeah, a chicken in a hot tub tripping balls.
As well. That gave me a head rush.
Just imagine that.
Oh, yeah. That gave me a head rush. Oh my god.
You want to try it? You don't have to.
Nah, not that one. That gave me a head rush.
You seem like you're really enjoying yourself right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That chicken. Oh, bro. Whoa.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of what else I could have you do.
It's kind of hot.
What?
It's kind of hot.
Huh?
Hot?
Hot?
Yeah.
You want to
Hot
feel hot?
tub. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want me to turn down the temperature in the hot tub?
Yeah, can you?
Yeah, I can do that. Comfortable temperature, perfect temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like the hot tub can feel relaxing, but you don't get tired of it. It's just like perfect.
Oh yeah.
No negative suggestions, only the positive experiences, and they're amplified, double and double every second that passes. Feeling even better and better.
Yes. I'm still seeing those fucking waves, bro.
All right, so I want Tupac to start rapping about. You're gonna hear Tupac, and he's gonna start rapping about Twinkies and unicorns. And it's gonna be gangster. What do you think of it?
I can like see it as he's rapping about it. I see it up there, like I see him rapping it.
That's what's up. Are those the dopest lyrics you've ever heard?
Yeah. Fuck is it? Yeah.
It's creative, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, do you have any ideas of anything else you would like to try? We could have you, okay, how about, so you're still in the hot tub, you're still tripping balls. Now I want you, what is the coolest nature scene you've ever seen? That you would want to trip balls in? Like a canyon, a park,
No.
a national park?
More like The ocean.
The ocean. Okay. So there's a hot tub next to the ocean. There's a hot tub. Let's put the hot tub in the ocean. So the hot tub is like kind of floating in the ocean. You see me, and I'm like in the ocean, and I'm just like chilling, swimming, right?
Yeah.
All right. And so we'll go ahead and do that. You see the sand? It's about like where the blinds are at.
Yeah.
Okay. And then those two are surfers, and they're like doing backflips on the same wave, like over and over again. And it's cool. It's trippy. And yeah, you see Hagen as Willie Nelson, and then Moose is Tupac in the background. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
All fucking
So-
doing backflips in the ocean. Shit.
Yeah, on a surfboard.
Yeah. And I'm just over in the
And you
hot
hear
tub
the
in the middle of the
waves.
ocean.
While Tupac's rapping. To
Yeah, about Twinkies.
it. And unicorns.
Yeah.
Gangster unicorns.
Gangster unicorns. Bro.
All right. So you're really enjoying it. Is there anything else you want to add?
I feel pretty good.
Okay, how about so another hallucination? We can add more kinesthetic. We could also add okay. So have you ever had a hydro massage?
No.
Have you ever sat in a massage chair?
Yes.
So a hydro massage, it's kind of like the jets, right? And they're like moving up and down your back like a massage chair.
Okay.
So I'm gonna this hot tub now has that. And it's pleasant as fuck, not too strong. But it's getting all the knots in your back and they're gone.
Just like to pass out.
You like it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And then what's your favorite food?
Chicken.
Chicken? Okay. So do you like Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Lemon.
You like lemon chicken? Okay. So very so like I want you to taste the lemon chicken, seasoned perfectly, delicious, and like just pleasant, not overbearing, not taking away any pleasure from the experience, not just adding to the experience. It's going to be a very noticeable taste though. So it's going to be just adding to the experience where like this is the most unique experience you've ever had in your life. And you can taste that chicken.
Yeah. It tastes like just like how my mom used to make it.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
Oh, a lot of memories. Fuck.
All right. So seems like you're responding very good to suggestions. Now I want to go ahead and try. So this is going to be about muscles. You seem very relaxed, by the way. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to. I'm gonna have. So you're gonna have this very like. Okay. So I want this to be kind of like just like a warm, comfortable sensation, right? So it's gonna feel like you have this glue, right? That's just warming like gel, right? Just like comforting and soothing, like relaxing your muscles, right? And it's only going to be pleasant. It's not going to be unpleasant. It's not going to be scary. You're not going to be able to lift your arm and you're going to try to. So like your hand right here, the entire area, all of this is just glue, but it's so comfortable, warm, nice, great sensation. Glue shut tight. You cannot lift your hand no matter how hard you try. You can lift your wrist, arm, the rest of it, but your hand is glued. Go ahead and try to lift it. It's not scary. And you're just like, okay, so that's cool. I can do that. Like it's working.
Oh.
Can you stand up? Okay, release it.
That was weird. That was weird.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So next one I'm gonna try eye lock. Okay?
Okay.
So eye lock is that's when you close your eyes and you can't open them. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes in 3, 2, 1. You cannot open your eyes no matter how hard you try. It doesn't work. Go ahead and try. And it's not scary. It's not uncomfortable. It's just, it is what it is. I love how you're doing that. Okay. You can open your eyes now. You don't have to keep trying.
I know, but like I'm still trying to figure out how they stay closed. Like,
It's interesting, huh?
yeah, I mean, it's like now I'm just fat, but before I was doing that and they wouldn't fucking open.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let me pull up that list. Okay. So you know what euphoria is?
Euphoria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to have. I'm gonna give you like a. I want to give you a suggestion to like feel very great euphoria, just like glowing. You know, like best sensations you had, a combination of them all. Extremely pleasant. And like I mean, this will be nice for like you know, just like when you really need it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you can attach a therapeutic like type of context to it if you would like. I mean, well, I'm not going to use the word therapeutic. I'll just say you know like you know beneficial
Okay.
context, right?
Yeah.
You know, similar meaning or identical meaning, however you interpret it.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So, you know, like, so, like, for example, if you ever feel, you know, sad or depressed or anxious, you know, or afraid or stressed or nervous or whatever that may be, you can use this feeling to just help you cope when things like it, you know, you need a break from it, right?
Right.
You know that it's not going to become addictive and you don't feel cravings for like that as an addiction. It's just going to be when you need it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can always activate that, and all you have to do for it is you see that smiley face.
Yeah.
So smiling faces mean you know like feeling good, right? Happy. So you can activate that just by pressing that. You know, like tapping it, and it's done. Okay.
Okay.
So close your eyes. 3, 2, 1, and it's working now. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I feel joyful. Yeah, I feel good. I'm
Happy there.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm good.
Awesome. Is it the best feeling you've ever had?
Yeah.
Does it feel like it's related to anything? Can you compare it to anything?
I can.
Do you think it might be related to the tattoo?
Maybe the tattoo underneath it.
Okay. What's it say?
Love.
Oh, that's cute, dude.
Bro, it was so bad.
Was it?
Yo, yeah.
I'm so sorry about that.
So bad.
Well, I mean, you know, you're in a better position now, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's a good thing because that can always give you hope. It's a good memory.
Good times still.
Good.
Times.
I mean, you learn from it, and bad things happen, but you know you can help make them positive.
We live and we learn.
Yes.
We live and we learn.
Awesome. All right. Okay, so let's see. Oh, that document. That's right. Okay. And post-traumatic suggestions. Okay. So, one thing I could have you do is cry, but I could make you cry tears of joy.
I don't cry at all.
You know?
No.
Do you feel that's healthy?
I haven't cried since I was like 10, bro.
Do you miss it?
Nope.
No? Okay. We won't go there.
I haven't cried for a while.
Okay. So let's see here. Oh, dexterity and coordination. That's kind of a nice one too. Let's see. I'm looking here. Oh, are you in any pain right now?
No, I feel pretty relaxed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel good.
So can you stand up and move and tell me if like you feel any pain at all?
Yeah.
Just let me know. Anything?
Oh, I feel pretty fine.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, I think I
So I can also do one to help you with like unpleasant sensations like pain, right?
my back.
Yes. How does your back feel right now?
My back's always sore, bro. My
Yeah.
back is
Is it
always
sore right now?
It's always sore.
So it's sore right now?
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
It's always
So
sore.
just to test, I'm going to completely take away that feeling of pain. Okay? You're going to have very nice, relaxed muscles. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to activate this right now. Close your eyes. 3, 2, 1, activate it. How do you feel?
I feel like I'd probably play football again and ride dirt bikes.
Really?
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that would be amazing.
So you'll probably want to get like an MRI done, and like get your back looked at and see kind of what like risks there are. I don't know how fragile or sensitive that can be, where that is.
It goes a lot like depth into like I learned a lot about my spine.
By the way, actually, okay, so I do need to change the suggestion slightly, okay? So one of the things that like with pain relief, it's extremely important, or like any type of uncomfortable sensation type of thing, right? So you know the concept of like, okay, when you put your hand on a hot stove, right, and you feel pain to pull your hand away, right,
Put it away.
to avoid injury.
Right.
So we have to add this to the suggestion just as a safety thing, right? So you can only feel pain if it's going to help you. We're at those unpleasant sensations like pain. If it's going to help you avoid re-injury, or if it's pain regarding re-injury, until you can grasp the severity of it.
Okay.
And it's only to ensure that you're not re-injuring yourself or worsening an injury. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about is like the consistent chronic pain, right? And say for example, like you burn your hand, right? You need to feel the pain when you're burning your hand, but if you pull it away, right? I mean, you can feel pain like to make sure that you put ice and take care of it, right? You know what I mean? If you sprained your ankle and it was a serious type of sprain, right? And you started feeling pain that you never felt before, like you had tendonitis or something,
Right.
then you can feel, you need to notice that pain so that you know to do something about it, so that you know, yeah, you have an injury.
Right.
But once you know 100%, like doctor, whatever that case may be, and you know that it's safe to have the pain relief, and that the pain relief is not going to put you at risk of re-injury. And if you're ever in an emergency situation, you can control that. So if it's like life or death type of situation, for example, whatever, what I'm saying, then you have that complete control to be able to repress that.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you that to you, and so just remember, like, you understand the basic general concept, and your subconscious mind knows that. The subconscious mind can be very literal. So I'm going to tell you just like ignore all of the stuttering, kind of talking around and all that type of stuff in circles. You understand the general concept. You pull your hand away from the hot stove. So you need pain for that purpose.
Yes.
And to avoid re-injury, to avoid worsening an injury, or to avoid injury.
Right.
And to be aware of injury. But other than that, you have the ability to control those sensations. This is also going to include hot, cold, and so like if it's cold outside, you can begin feeling comfortable and warm. If it's hot, you can cool yourself down to safe extents. Okay. If it's like scorching hot, or freezing cold, you're not going to be able to give yourself hypothermia, and you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to notice.
Right.
Same kind of concept, right? Like you're not going to give yourself frostbite and have to amputate your arm or leg or something like that.
Right.
And you're not going to give yourself a heat stroke. Same thing with, let's say, for example, hunger, thirst. You'll be able to know when you need to eat for your health and drink water for your health. You're going to have good control over urges and cravings. We do need to help you quit smoking.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is So we have that. So you have control over your feelings and your emotions like that, right? And I mean, the override is going to be for like emergency type of situations regarding re-injury or like safety. Okay.
Right.
Your subconscious understands the basic general concept, and that's just all it needs to know.
I got you.
And so like yeah. Anyways, now we'll go ahead and get that activated. You understand what I'm saying and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Clear as day.
Yep.
Awesome. So that done. Cool.
Mhm.
All right. Awesome. So and let's see. And okay. Oh, what else I was gonna say? So about like how like people sometimes will like crave sugar, unhealthy foods, right? Whatever that may be. I want to go ahead and give you like the ability to control those urges 100%.
I don't eat sugar.
You don't? Awesome.
I don't really like it. It hurts my teeth.
Okay. Um, uh, do you have any tooth pain right now?
No. It like so only when I.
You have tooth sensitivity.
Yeah, I have really
Okay.
sensitive to teeth.
Do you have tooth sensitivity when you drink water?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to take that away for you? To the same.
To the same
Measure.
extent as my back.
Yes.
Yes.
Done. All right, and so that's a good one. Okay, like you seem like actually you're in pretty good shape. Like you don't have a problem with overeating or undereating. Okay. What about energy?
I eat a lot. I just don't gain weight, bro.
Do you want to gain weight?
No.
No.
I used to be fat.
Okay, cool.
I used to
if
be
you ever
250.
If you ever need to control your appetite in the future, whatever that case may be, hypnosis can also help to control your metabolism and everything along those lines. So you're going to be able to control that, have better control and influence it to what's best and healthy for you. And being healthy is going to be extremely easy for you. So sometimes they say that thing like sometimes some of the things that are really good for you are hard or tedious or boring or unpleasant.
Right.
Kind of like when you have to force a kid to eat their vegetables, right? When they want to eat candy. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make everything that's healthy easy for you, okay? And I'm going to make the unhealthy things easy for you to resist, where you have great self-control. Okay, so I'm going to give you that to you right now. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so I want to go ahead and, so this is going to be a little, we're going to do, so I'm going to be compounding these suggestions, right, to start. So, okay, what I want you to do is I'm going to do this only for a demonstration, right? It's not going to be overwhelming where you feel like you have to go outside and smoke, and it's not going to be like, whatever, right? But you're going to feel, I want to put you into like a feeling of cigarette withdrawal, because that's a common feeling to have. If we can replicate that and turn it on and off,
Bro, just
then
me
we
looking
can.
at those cigarettes, I want one.
What?
Just by me looking at it, I want one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put it into a suggestion where you feel like you're going through a withdrawal, and just like briefly for like maybe 30 seconds, okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think this will help you. Does that make sense? That's the only reason I'm doing that. So you're going to see that, and you're going to it's going to be like mouth-watering type of craving, right? So I want you to close your eyes. 3, 2, 1, you feel it? All right. And then you can tell you really want it. And I want you to go ahead and take out a cigarette. Act like you're smoking it. Don't light it. And you're going to feel like you're smoking it, like it's lit. And you can feel it going in you. You can feel the smoke in your lungs, and you can feel the nicotine buzz. Like when you first smoked a cigarette. I want you to feel that now. How does that
get
feel?
that rush for a second. Wow.
Lightheaded?
Yeah.
Like where you're feeling like social and everything like that, and you're like, I love
Where you just
cigarettes.
lean over real quick, like just put your head on something to keep stabilized.
Yeah. All right. And now I want to give you amnesia what cigarettes are. You don't even know what they are. You don't even know what that feeling is. You have no craving or desire right now. What is that in your hand? Are they pencils? What is it?
I don't know, like crayons?
It almost looks like a joint. It's a weird joint, huh?
Yeah.
But look, like Do you have any craving to smoke that joint or not?
No, not really.
Okay, I want you to know what it is. How is that now? Do you have any craving for it?
Yeah, I want a cigarette now.
Okay, so you know what it
I want a
is.
cigarette now.
Okay, so I want to go ahead and take away your craving for it. You know what it is, but you don't have any desire for it. You feel like you don't smoke. You just don't smoke.
Mm.
Okay. How do you feel now?
Good.
Do you want to smoke?
No, not really.
Do you smoke?
No.
Have you ever smoked?
No.
You never smoked? Okay. How did we meet?
I think I was coming from Wendy's. Either Wendy's or Taco Bell. I know that.
Do you remember meeting outside the hotel?
Yeah. Yeah.
What were we doing?
I know y'all were smoking, but I can't remember what exactly I was doing.
Okay. Don't try to remember that now. Because I want you to remember smoking. You used to smoke, but you don't anymore. Okay. Do you remember now?
What we were doing?
So you did you used to smoke?
Yeah, I used to smoke.
Are you a smoker?
No more now.
When did you quit?
I don't know.
Okay, I want you to feel euphoria from not smoking. Not necessarily like super intense, but I want you to feel like kind of like a mild weed high, maybe, if you like that. Kind of just like a little like head change, right? But pretty intense euphoria, like, where you're just like, I don't even want to interrupt this feeling to smoke. Okay, and I want to activate that now. And that's going to be whenever you even think about cigarettes, see cigarettes, anything that could trigger you for that. And it's going to feel as if like that feeling is so good you don't want to interrupt it. It's like it's going to feel like kind of interrupting that is like when you're talking about something really important and somebody interrupts you in the conversation and you don't want to be interrupted. That's what smoking a cigarette is going to feel like. It's going to feel like tedious. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to smoke?
No. Not really, no.
I can change the suggestion and take away the tedious thing, right? So that now I can give you the ability to turn that on or off too, right? If you really if you're like, okay, I need to quit smoking, I'm doing it, and I'll just tough it out. But I'm not going to give you any unpleasant suggestions for a long-term type of thing. But you feel so good that you feel better not smoking, not having the cravings.
Yeah.
And you can't feel the cravings.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that cool?
Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Yeah.
So you have no craving for it right now. Okay.
No.
So if you want, we could go outside and I could smoke a cigarette. And only the pleasant stuff, right? And if you feel like you're gonna, so this is not a suggestion right this second, right? If you feel like you're gonna be smoking, right? You can ask me for one, and I will give you one, right? But I want to try to test it, basically, right? Okay. See how you feel, if it bothers you at all, if you have any craving or desire for it. Okay. Okay, so also, do you know what euphoric? Okay, I want to start giving you another suggestion. So, do you know what euphoric recall is?
No.
So an example of euphoric recall is like, okay, have you ever been in jail?
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted a cigarette when you're in jail?
Yeah.
And you could imagine what that first cigarette's going to be like.
Yep.
Okay. So I want you to have that feeling. You don't associate with a cigarette, right? Just kind of like that feeling of like relief. I want you to feel that relief, right? Like just kind of like the hot tub type of relief, right?
Oh, I'm putting an exact image to my head right now.
And I want you to feel that relief of just having a true friend, right? that I want you to mostly associate it with that and to remember this because your health is important.
Yeah.
And like being healthy feels really good. Okay.
Right.
So I want this to help you feel healthy, and it's going to motivate you to be healthier. You might even want to start exercising, like maybe even start running, or just doing anything that's in your best interest, right? So I'm not saying like if you had a saw a cigarette and you're at work and then you're like, okay, I have an undesirable urge to start running. I'm going to run a marathon and be super healthy and lose my job while in the process. You're not going to do anything like that.
Right.
It's going to be responsible. It's going to be coherent of your own free will and choosing. You know what I mean? It's not going to be uncontrollable, but it's going to just be kind of like that motivation that will
Is that my phone?
increase. This is your
I heard it vibrate. I think.
Check it.
Maybe not.
That will increase.
Sorry. Yeah, you're good.
That motivation that will increase. Like the more that you follow through with it, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Also, when you wake up in the morning and you feel tired, sometimes like your alarm goes off and you don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I want to take that away from you.
Okay.
I mean, unless unless you want to feel it, right? Now, this is typically the suggestion that I use to activate, to compound the suggestions. So, like, if you set an alarm every day,
Right.
and then, basically you feel awake, alert, you feel perfectly motivated, like to go brush your teeth, to shower, you know what I mean? Instead of like wanting to press the snooze button, you're just like jolted awake. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. So, and I want you to, so what's something that's very like, so it could be like, this could be something that makes you feel like awake and alert and excited. Kind of maybe, I don't know, like when you're at a club and you're dancing, you're full of energy and you're just like, I can't stop moving, right? I'm excited. Is that a good feeling to kind of describe that, right? So it's going to be like, the bass just dropped when you wake up in the morning. Okay?
Yeah.
You're like, you're not necessarily dancing, but you're feeling good.
No, yeah, I know.
You're feeling good. You're vibing, and you're and getting ready for the day in the morning, and being responsible is going to be like when you want to move and dance to the music, right? So you're vibing with that. Is that cool?
Yeah. Okay,
that's done. All right, what else? Let's see. I'm looking at our menu here. We'll get to the sexual stuff. Okay. You don't have to go into any detail if you want to. Sometimes it can be embarrassing for people. I'm going to give you suggestions regardless of whether you want them or not, and then you can go ahead and pick and choose what you want. Okay. So, if you decide to change or whatever, you can later. Okay. I'm going to give you a specific process on how to change your suggestions and how to set your suggestions. Okay. Awesome. Like I said, I'm going to get into that later. Have you ever felt like a performance anxiety with something?
No.
Ever started giving like a speech or a presentation? No? Okay. Well, if you ever have like performance anxiety, hypnosis can help you a lot with that, right?
Right.
So like, for example, a lot of artists, celebrities, for example, can like Lil Wayne is kind of known for like taking Xanax when he's performing on stage, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of like that type of thing, right? Right. So, I could relieve any type of like anxiety or,
Okay.
And also like, if you ever have like a lack of confidence, it can give you confidence too.
Okay. That'd be cool.
And I can help you. So basically, like, we're going to have I'm trying to think of how to describe this. Have you ever skateboarded?
Yeah, I longboard.
Okay, cool. So like, that's cool actually. This will work very good. So like, how we can oil your bearings,
yes.
Right? Like when you have good clean bearings, when you have good wheels, good trucks, your grip tape.
Yes, all of it.
All right, so then like everything kind of works in synchronization with each other, right? And you can fine tune everything. You can make adjustments, like with trucks and the flexibility for that, how tight everything is.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can get different types of bearings, different sized wheels, for whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can even put cool designs on it, right? Like designs might be like feelings, right? but everything else is kind of like the functional aspects and skills part, right? So you can adjust these things. So like there's cognitive performance, there's focus and concentration, right? And I mean, like, let's say, for example, the wheels and the bearings, that represents like speed, agility, flexibility, motor control, dexterity, right? So, we can go ahead and set something to like tune that, right? And the nice thing about longboards is they're a smooth ride.
Yeah, they're really.
So then, like, you do everything, and it's just like feels perfect, and you're in your mode.
Yes.
Does that make sense? All right, awesome. So we can go ahead and tune that to help you have more confidence and increase your confidence. Okay. And that can help to relieve your confidence. I'm gonna have you be realistic about it too, so you don't do anything like, feel like overly confident. Like as let's say for example, if you, like I have a horrible singing voice. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna go out on stage and sing and embarrass myself, right?
Right.
Personally. You know what I mean? I don't know if you have a good singing voice. You might.
No.
Wouldn't be surprised if you did. But you fine tune everything. This can be your voice, the way that you talk, your body language, your confidence, and your social interactions, right? So I mean, like, you can be very like when things just like go naturally, like when you have that perfect day, right?
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you just like say for example when you have like cars that like are in your longboarding, right? Kind of like down a sidewalk, and like right as you get to the end of the sidewalk, red light, you can go right through. You got that green light, walk sign, right? And it's like that happens like 4 blocks in a row, and like everything's just going in the sync. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then right when you get like to wherever you're trying to get, you get like a phone call, and it's like, it's perfect timing, right? And then right after you get off the phone, you meet with somebody, and you're just vibing. You're going with the flow, right? Everything's going very smoothly.
Yes.
So you can have your social interactions like that. This can help with like social anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So these are things to improve your life and your overall well-being. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to activate that too. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you have any, have you ever had any psychiatric conditions?
What do you mean?
So like bipolar, depression, ADHD, any learning disabilities, personality disorders,
Speech impediment.
speech impairment. Hypnosis can't help with that. So, like I said with the skateboard analogy, the longboard thing, right? Okay. So that's a nice one because that's pretty easy, right? Speaking is part of an everyday life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So dopamine is responsible for a lot of the fine motor control and muscle movements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the like adrenaline is kind of more over responsible for like the rigid, intense muscle movements, right? Now, of course, your body uses these things in combination based off of what it's doing, right? Now, like adrenaline is typically going to be a lot more like, the larger muscle movements, right? It's going to be more like powerful, sudden, more like less controlled, right? But more kind of like all out, like your fight or flight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily as dexterous.
Okay.
So that is adrenaline, and then dopamine. That's like, for example, when you're handwriting, right? That's part of dopamine, dexterity.
Okay.
Talking and speech are also have a lot to do with dopamine.
Huh. I would have never thought about that, honestly. Talking and speech has a lot to do with dopamine. I would have never thought about that.
Yeah. So the focus, the concentration, kind of just trying to think like what have you heard about Adderall?
I just know that all my friends told me not to take it.
Okay.
That's all I know, honestly. I've asked them, well, what does it do and stuff. They won't explain it to me. They just told me not to take it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So irrelevant, right? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and describe some suggestions. So let's see. The way that I'm going to describe this is kind of like, all right. So you're going to have a chemical balance, right? And you're going to be able to fine tune your balance yourself. And it's going to like you might need a little bit of like stimulation and alertness, right? Kind of like a cognitive boost. cognitive enhancement. So you're more focused, you're more alert, right? And it's going to be very calm alert, right? Does that make sense? Like
Yes.
you're like relaxed, you're moving with the flow and everything like that.
Yes.
You know, like when you're typing, right? How fast can you type?
What is that? I can type like 150 letters, 200 letters a minute or something like that.
Do you know how many words a minute?
80, 90.
Okay, that's really fast. You know what I'm saying? So like you're like
Yeah.
whizzing through
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Very dexterous and fast.
Yeah.
So the tongue can be a lot like that. And can you still type that fast?
What do you mean, like?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So your speech, you're going to notice that you have a very like fine-tuned, just natural control of your dexterity. You're able to talk like quickly and very coherently, very clearly. Like you just have that control over your tongue and your
Right.
speech. Okay. So this is going to be brought on kind of like when you're typing, right? Because typing is kind of like a stimulating behavior because you're very alert, right?
Right.
So real quick, I want you to imagine typing, the dexterity involved with that, and how precise you are, right? Go ahead and try to type on an imaginary keyboard. I'll put you in a trance to visualize it. So you have a computer in front of you. You know, you can lean back while you're on the computer or whatever, right? If you want to, whatever is most comfortable, whatever you feel like most, you know, easiest to type, right? The best to type.
I'm trying to think about what I want to look up.
So it's not about that. You're just taking a typing test, right?
Okay.
So like, I mean, you know, you might be like, you're not focusing on what you're typing. It's just kind of like you're noticing, you know, like you're typing fast.
Well.
So I mean, you could be typing what I'm saying too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So while I'm talking, you're just typing. You're noticing like you're able to keep up, very smooth paced. It's effortless, really.
Yeah.
But you're very focused and you're alert and you're attentive to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So every single letter you've got down, right?
Yeah.
So every letter is kind of like, you know, every syllable. You know what I mean? It's going to be like you're typing it, but you have no interruptions. Your hands never cramp. You never get tired with your mouth and your speech. It's always going to be just like very fluent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like as if, you know, you've been trying to learn English for quite some time, and you just got like passed this master class, right? You read a book and you're like, okay, I actually understand how this works, right? Because I learned the proper grammar. I learned it, and it's perfect. Like it's so easy now. It's effortless. It's natural.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so the words that you say, you're gonna be much more alert and focused. You're gonna pay very good attention to other people. You know, you're going. So this is going to help you with like relationships and conversations, right? So you know how to speak. You just know that it happens naturally. You have that confidence where you never get like that writer's block feeling.
Right.
You're always just kind of like, I mean, I know how to. I can comprehend what you're saying. I'm able to keep up. I'm able to focus.
Yes.
And you know, I mean, you can kind of put your mind into that overdrive attention very quickly and easily, just like typing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know, where it's kind of like you know, where you're sedentary, right? And then if you're typing, right? Like okay, like I'm gonna type, and then you,
right?
Very rapid, extreme change.
Oh yeah.
Very easy to do. You can turn that on and off, right? You can stop typing, start typing whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so this is going to be like with 100% accuracy. You never have to use the backspace button. You have that autocorrect in your tongue.
Nice.
And if you ever do stumble or stutter, it's you got that autocorrect already fixing it. It's smoothing out those bumps in the road for you.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool as well.
Yeah.
Be
So
really
you've got
cool.
that right now.
Mm.
So, I want you to say, what is one of the things like? So, what letters did you struggle with? Speech.
Noodle.
Say one more time.
Noodle.
Noodle. What is noodle?
Noodle.
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 Okay. So say nude.
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 New.
New. Da.
New. Do.
Okay. Nude.
Nude.
Okay. Oh. So like no.
No.
Say no.
No.
There we go. No.
Noodle.
So noodle.
Noodle.
Smooth it out.
Noodle.
Smooth it out a little bit more.
Noodle.
Okay. That's getting better. I actually noticed a tremendous difference.
Yeah.
I'm not lying to you. Have you noticed it?
Yeah, no, I can hear it. Yeah, I can just hear it by the like I hear the letters and I hear words by letters.
Okay. So like tongue dexterity. Okay, like how about I want to try to make you feel twice as alert and focused. Okay. So it's gonna be like you've had like coffee before, right? Okay. You know how coffee kind of gives you the jitters?
I
Sometimes.
think I have ADHD, but it makes me fall asleep.
Okay.
And so does
Cool.
energy drinks and shit too.
Has it helped you focus?
Makes me tired.
Makes you tired?
Makes me tired, bro.
Okay, what about like in school when you had caffeine? Has it ever made a difference?
It always made me tired.
Always made you tired.
Caffeine,
But did it
energy
help
drinks.
you focus?
Yeah, I guess, yeah,
ADHD
no,
symptoms.
yeah, I didn't slow down. I didn't pay attention more in class, but it made me tired too at the same time.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I didn't pay attention.
So, something I noticed, okay, so what I want you to do is, you have very great control of opening your mouth enough to speak clearly, right?
Right.
And you're gonna practice that. You're going to be, so like this is kind of a little bit of subconscious, right? I noticed that when I was working at a call center, because speech is like an important thing for me too, right?
Right.
So I used to take phone calls for Comcast Business Services, and you know I was a call center. So like you know my job was talking.
Oh, bro, that's
Yeah.
It's...
Well, the thing is, right? So you can imagine like, you know, it makes a huge impression when you have a person that's talking very clearly and coherently. And especially because I always had a super nice voice. That like, I mean, super friendly, super nice, super kind.
Yeah.
Very considerate.
Mm-hmm.
That was very, very nice. And it helped a lot. So, you know, like, I mean, I was hypnotized and everything like that, right? So, like, I have suggestions that are kind of causing it for me. But that's not going to influence you. Okay?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But, like, let's say, for example, you know, I get a phone call and I'd be like, "Hi, thanks for calling XXX Business Services. My name is Matthew. How may I help you today?" Right? And I could change the fluctuations in my voice, right, from high and low, like super friendly, hyphy, like, "Hey, yeah, how you doing, mate? What's up?"
Right.
Yeah. To like, you know, like just talking normally. To oh, I totally understand how that feels. It's extremely frustrating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, so like it's kind of like when you're giving an introduction to something, right? And you want to sound very clear.
Yeah.
So you know, kind of, you have an idea subconsciously what that feels like. You know, to have that control with your mouth, and it might not happen right away, but it should happen very fast, and you're going to get naturally better at it. Now, one thing that you might do is you're going to have a little bit of a cognitive boost, right? An enhancement, kind of like reduced fatigue, just more like enhanced attention focus, right?
Yeah, that's attention. Yeah.
Yes. So it's going to be kind of like I'm taking a stimulant that puts you down, right?
Right.
Makes you tired.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very smooth and precise stimulation. So you feel like a very profound focus and concentration. Okay. So you with that you'll be able to pay very good attention to conversations, but you'll be able to so you're going to start noticing like a little bit more attention to your mouth movements and how much you open your mouth and how it sounds coming out of your mouth. And with a little bit of practice, you're going to learn very rapidly how to perfect it. Okay. Down.
Yeah.
All right. So you'll kind of notice like, so it's kind of like when something's in the background, right? Like let's say for example, if you're playing with a pocket watch, or when you play this right now, right? Okay. Play with it in your hands. Look at me, and we're just going to talk, right? While you play with that in your hands, kind of like a fidget spinner. Okay. So you're aware of the sensations and feelings of the pocket watch, right?
Right.
And I mean, you're kind of aware of like, so if you swing it, right, while you're talking to me and everything, so that like kind of swing it and, you know, like naturally get like balance coordination while you're still listening to me. you're paying attention to my voice, right? But you also have this extra like attention paid to the pocket watch, right? And the balance and the fine muscle movements associated with that. And that's what it's like with your mouth and your speech, your tongue. So you subconsciously notice because it's very subtle. It requires very little attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
So you notice it, and it's in the background, right?
Right.
It's kind of like okay, so while you're typing on your computer, but you have Windows Media Player in the background, right? So like you go back to Windows Media Player every once in a while to play songs. You know what I mean? To adjust things, you'll notice things sometimes.
Right.
But really, it never is very intrusive. You know what I mean? For your typing. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, that makes total sense. Yes.
Yes.
I get you.
So like it doesn't take away from the focus and the concentration, but it's a great way to practice and to improve your speech skills.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay. Done. So I want you to talk to me a little bit, and it's going to be kind of like the pocket watch. You can continue playing with the pocket watch. It might actually help you a little bit more because you're focusing on like kind of just performance. I want you to say, let me see. I can have you read something like read some of these suggestions. Just read it and read it out loud. So you're going to open your mouth.
Digestion. Yeah. Metabolism. Tear production. Muscle contraction, endurance, agility, flexibility, sports, physical, sexual, performance, etc.
Take away the performance anxiety. It's very, you're just doing it.
Too limited but extremely dangerous. It's not as powerful as steroids, hormones.
Now you feel pumped up doing it, and you're excited to talk about it, okay? Yeah. And that excitement helps you motivate you to keep going, okay? To improve your speech.
Right. I would not give you any hypnotic suggestions that would endanger you or harm your health. You don't have to worry about any of this happening on accident. Hypnotic suggestions can produce effects involuntarily. I don't know how to pronounce that. Involuntarily, and can cause extremely dangerous alterations in bodily functions, although that can only happen from deliberate. Thank you.
Yeah.
Intentional abuse. Hypnosis is an artificial method of accessing the REM state, the REM state, which is the stage of sleep when you dream. So hypnosis can produce profound changes in consciousness.
So, pause, please. Okay, thank you. So I notice you have all right. I noticed that like you're probably dopamine is also like, so it's a stimulant, right? It's what Adderall works on too.
Right.
Okay. So I noticed that it helps me a lot with my speech. When I was working in a call center, like I could probably really help you with this a lot because I have personal experience with it. So I do notice that like you can kind of tell the lisp a little bit I have. You know what I mean? That like yeah. I mean that's mostly because of hypnosis and stuff like that, and also a little bit because I'm tired. But so what I'm noticing is you are slowing down. You slow down sometimes when you have difficulty knowing how to pronounce a word.
Right.
Sometimes. And I feel like that affects your confidence. Has it been?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you noticed a difference with a performance anxiety type of thing when you're reading, or like your confidence in reading the word? I mean,
I just won't read it in front of people. I usually just won't read in front of people. Honestly.
Okay.
I don't like it. I choose not to do it.
You can speak normally better too, so you could practice reading.
Yeah.
And I mean, that might be part of the reason.
I read, just not in front of people.
Can you read faster by yourself?
Yeah.
Much faster?
Yeah.
Like pretty fast?
Not fast, like fast. Fast enough for me, yeah.
Okay.
Always a math guy for me.
I mean, so hypnosis can also help to improve your reading ability. I think you could benefit from actually probably an Adderall real prescription, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I could give you a suggestion for it, like based off of my experiences from it, but I mean like, so Adderall can be really addictive for people that have problems with, like I mean, it's amphetamine, right?
Right.
But for a person that has ADHD, it makes them feel tired. And it can really help a lot with a lot of symptoms, like
Right.
tremendously. So I noticed like improvements in my handwriting.
Your
I noticed,
handwriting?
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is you might really like my handwriting. Check this out.
Oh hell yeah. Nice. Hell yeah, bro.
That's neat, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and I can actually teach you about handwriting too. But like, so what hypnosis does is, I mean, what Adderall kind of does for me, right? I notice it like really. I'm naturally a very fast and flexible person too, right? But like I'm high energy naturally too. I have a really fast metabolism like you.
Right.
So you probably do have a good ability to like be very energetic, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can use that to your advantage.
I do. For
You know what I
work
mean?
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
So wait, what type of work do you do?
I do ACs. Like I build this shit. That
Yeah.
I build all of it. I do all the thermostat wiring, all the ducting.
Did you
all
think
of it.
about speech just barely?
Huh?
Did you think about speech just barely?
Speech?
Yeah, speaking.
No.
No. Because I noticed you started stuttering, and I felt like you might have started thinking about it.
No.
Or noticed it. And okay. Well, I'm just curious because I'm trying to help you.
Right. No.
Trying to help identify some of the things that we can do to help you.
Right.
Because you should be able to like. I mean, I do notice big differences in the way that you speak intermittently. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Sometimes you speak perfectly.
I see it.
I didn't even notice that you had a speech impairment until like you told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I can notice it, but like
After
it's not
I
really.
said something though, right?
Yeah, but it's not really that bad.
Maybe. Not now. Yeah.
I mean, and you definitely can improve it a lot, man. I have a lot of confidence in you, actually.
That's if I choose to do something about it.
Yeah, and I mean that's all up to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's something that like I mean I want you to feel confident. You know what I mean in yourself.
Oh yeah.
And like I don't know. I mean it's something that I felt like okay. So I noticed that like I'm trying to think. Okay, excitement is probably gonna help a lot. So or like high energy. Like when you're like ready, you're like.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But like kind of more focused. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what Adderall really did for me a lot. Like, because I used to work at a call center, right?
Right.
So then I'd be like hyped up, like I'd be like very alert, focused, going all over the place, doing my job and stuff like that, typing and talking and everything like that, right?
Right.
And the way that I would talk, you know what I mean? Like, so I would be very energized and alert, but I would also be like, I mean, kind of hyper, right?
Right.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would raise my voice to make sure that like I would raise my voice in accordance to how a person would be able to hear loud and clearly. Like,
okay.
So like on the phone though, right?
Right.
Because,
No,
I remember talking to like Indian people from India and having difficulty understanding what they were saying, you know what I mean? Very nice people and everything like that. It's just like it took longer to talk.
I understand.
Yeah. So I was just trying to make the overall experience as pleasant as possible, and also kind of just like my own personal goal that wasn't necessary, but I just like to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I like to talk fast. I like to do things fast. So kind of where like I mean I remember there's this song like called "Bullet Train" by Steven Schwartz. Have you heard it?
I might have. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I might want to share that song.
I think I did hear it. I don't know.
I think it might have some hypnotic influences, like subliminally too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another song called "Youth" by Foxes
Youth by Foxes. That's
and
new to me.
Adventure Club.
That's new to me.
I'll have to show you those songs. But anyways, so it's kind of like because I feel like they were very clean beats, like just smooth and like kind of quick. Especially because Bullet Train kind of like was like a little bit of a metaphor and like everything along those lines. But kind of like all right. So I mean, I don't know your own personal experiences and stuff like that, but I'd really like to help you with that because I'm really interested in trying to see how much I can. So I mean, stuttering can happen from like anxiety sometimes, right? I mean, like, so I know that hypnosis can help a lot with anxiety because it can just completely eradicate it. You know what I mean? But I really want the best results too, right? So some of that, like, I noticed like opening your mouth is kind of the biggest thing. So when you're wanting to try to improve your speech, I recommend trying. I want you to try to like open your mouth a little bit more to enunciate everything that you're saying. Does that make sense? So you pay a little bit more concentration and attention to say things clearly.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
And then it becomes much more natural.
Right.
Okay, cool. So like, I'll give you an example. Like, you know, I'd take like a phone call and I'd be like, "Hi, thanks for calling Comcast Business Services. We value every single one of our customers. My name is Matthew. How may I help you today?" So you can tell that like you know, that's not like the quiet type of voice that you would hear on the phone, right? Mm-hmm. So like you can hear that very loud and clear, like no, regardless of like you know, because a lot of people are also hard of hearing. You know what I mean? Like my grandfather was very hard of hearing. So and oftentimes I'd have a lot of customers that would call that would be hard of hearing. So I tried to compensate for that before they would call in. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that, where like I want, so it's kind of like, I want you to imagine it's kind of like talking to a person that's like hard of hearing, right? Where you have to raise your voice a little bit more, and when you do that, you notice how like you have to pay a little bit more attention on it, but it's not like it's consuming your entire attention where you're not able to
focus on it.
Like where you're like you have no idea what's going on or anything like that. It's kind of like okay, you just have to raise your voice, and it can be a little bit irritating because it takes a little bit of attention and everything like that. And you have to like, but you consciously do it. You know what I mean? So it's in the like kind of like in the background. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes. So I think, and oftentimes when a person raises their voice, they emphasize all of the movements, and it like I never hear a person really with a raised voice that's like stuttering or slurring as much.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes total sense. Yes, sir.
Okay. And I mean, I can embed that as a suggestion for you to kind of remember, right? Where like, you know, so the analogy of like, okay, you know, it's kind of like talking to a person that's hard of hearing because you're, or like when you have to raise your voice. Also, like when you're in a club, right? You have blaring music.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to like raise your voice to talk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you have to try harder to do it.
Might as well go stand in the corner and fucking talk to them in the corner outside.
Yes, that's what it feels like sometimes.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, like, so I want you to just start like kind of so it's gonna be like not like. So what I noticed was it's nice because it's like much more subtle, maybe like quarter, maybe even eighth as much attention on it, and in comparison to like the loud party type of thing where they're talking to a person that's hard of hearing. You know what I mean? So it's like much more in the background.
Okay, well, I get you.
Yeah. You know, like, I mean, you can't see the window open. It's not like a shrunken window. It's like it's in the background. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So basically like that. And so just kind of like a little bit of extra attention on that and you'll improve. You'll probably notice dramatic improvement. And so like, you know, as you see yourself improving or you see yourself noticing what I'm saying.
Yes.
Then you might have more motivation to practice.
Right. No, I do.
And it'll, because like, you know, I don't want you to focus too much on it or ever feel like it's irritating.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because, I mean, you can speak pretty good normally.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you really can.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dude. You're welcome. So like, you know, I want these things to happen naturally for you. So like it's not like you don't have to worry about it if you don't want to. It's not going to be like an irritating type of thing. It's just going to be kind of like, okay, I know I can do better, and I'm motivated to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I am like, I'm going to reach my goal. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Yes.
Like when you have very persistent attitude, like you're not going to take no for an answer. You're not going to be told no.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're going to do it. Like
Yeah.
for example, all right, I'm going to give you and like my life has kind of been like a hypnotic metaphor in a sense too. It's interesting. So I was born in a motel on meth and roofies because my dad tried to abort me. Meth, roofies, abortion pills, labor-inducing pills.
Damn.
Yeah, a month prematurely in a Best Western motel. You know what I mean? In Best Western, it's kind of like, oh, okay. Europe, it's like an intense story. It's like you're gonna watch like a Western movie or something. You know what I mean? Kind of like a movie theater, right?
I've been to a Best Western. I
Yeah,
know it's
they're pretty nice.
They're nice, but
Some of them are, depending. But I mean, anyways.
Yeah.
So like, I was born in a motel. You know what I mean? And I had developmental problems as a child, right? I was in resource classes as a child, like special education, mental retardation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so I went from like being in some resource classes, not all of them, for certain subjects, right? Like in second, third grade, fourth grade, right? To not only being one of the most improved students in the entire elementary school when I moved from California out to Logan. I actually became one of the highest performing students academically.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
so I got like awards for like excelling in math, like top 90%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hell
and then
yeah.
awards for being most improved in math too.
Hmm.
At the same time. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So underdog story, right? And based off of those types of experiences, so when I was like when I got out of the resource classes, I remember this kid telling me, "You're too stupid to get out of those resource classes.
Oh,
they shouldn't have let you out of those resource classes." And I didn't have to I didn't even kind of exactly understand what he was saying. I was like a little bit like autistic at the time, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? But like I felt kind of like sad, you know what I mean? Like low self-esteem.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't let it bother me too much, and I had some good friends. You know what I mean? I had people that really cared about me, and I had good teachers. I had good support. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but a lot of it came from my persistence, and also just natural ability, like kind of just learning and growing and stuff like that, and so like I never really thought too much about that, right? But I always had good encouragement from my teachers that were telling me like, hey, you're actually really smart, you know what I mean, and getting like good grades and stuff like that, and from my family, my friends, getting like told I'm really smart and really intelligent, and I'm doing great and all that kind of stuff, and getting encouragement.
Right.
So then, anyways, I was always the type that's like kind of underdog and underestimated. Right? Even like with girls, for example, too. I'd always I used to always like when I would meet a girl, like they would always like friend zone me right off the bat, and I would just like, but I was really smart and I was really nice, and I would make them feel really comfortable, and I would treat them better than anybody else. So then I was always the type of person that would make a girl regret not dating me or friend zoning me.
Right.
And I would do that on accident. You know what I mean? So kind of like a first impression thing, and then all of a sudden you see like, okay, this is not what I was expecting. This is much better.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So with that, I'm seeing that in you. And I'm talking about like everything too. Like the speech is just kind of a small thing that kind of reminds me of my childhood because I was in speech classes. I had difficulties with my R's and THs.
Okay.
That sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and those were the two ones that I had problems with. But I got out of the speech classes in like 7th grade.
Yeah, that's maybe.
But that was the only other type of class outside of the normal curriculum that I was in up until 7th grade because I got out of all the resource classes in like 2nd and 3rd grade.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of like where it stood out for me. And also, I was still in those speech therapy classes with some of the same students that were in the that I went to the speech therapy classes when I was younger, in elementary school. Yeah, you know what I mean. One of them was Megan Powell. She was pretty cool.
Megan Powell.
You probably don't know her. She lives in Logan, though.
I don't know.
Or Providence, I think.
I don't think I know her.
It's okay. She's pretty nice, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so like I always like to prove people wrong too. And I always got underestimated by others, and then like I would just be much better than they were expecting.
I understand that.
And I didn't I wouldn't try to even necessarily prove them wrong, but whenever I had discouragement, right, and I would have any type of failure, I would use it as motivation because I knew I could do it.
I've been working at this job for 6 months, and my boss said he thought I would only last a month.
Wait, what?
My boss said he thought I would only last a month, and I've been at this job for almost 6.5 months.
Sure. By the way, really? Wait, you say that one more time.
My boss thought I would only last a month at my job, and I've been here for almost 6.5 months.
Dude, that's what's up. That's just
bro.
All right, so you should still have the suggestion active where you don't have any craving for a cigarette. Do you have any? No. Awesome.
But I know we are leaving here in the next 30 minutes.
You're leaving in the next 30 minutes?
Yeah. We're going back to Colorado, bro.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Do you mind if I use your bathroom?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm sorry.
You're good. No worries. You don't need to apologize. You're looking for a small notebook, and then not doing it on your other second, and I'm not going to worry about it if I can't. Go on. I think I know where it's at, maybe. That's kind of cool. Alright, so, come forward. Alright, so I'm going to put, we're going to make some suggestions to wrap it up.
Okay.
Guys got going through minutes?
Yeah, we're leaving at 6.
Okay. So I'm going to go out and smoke with you. Well, I'm going to go out and smoke. If you need a cigarette, you can have one, but I don't believe you will.
Let me grab my hoodie.
Okay, for sure. So, I'm gonna have you, so we can have you set an alarm, or this could be, we could do, so what I try to do is associate a suggestion to be cued on a daily basis.
Okay.
That's not bothersome or intrusive.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just easy to.
Like the smiley face.
What?
Like the smiley face.
So a little bit different. Something that's cued, basically, you know how people will have an alarm that goes off every day, and it's a reminder, right? And it's so it's only specifically one time a day.
Right.
And it's only just for the purpose of compounding the suggestions.
Right.
So the difference between hypnosis lasting a week or lasting a lifetime. And after several months of that,
Yeah.
then it's not necessary anymore.
Right. No, I get you.
Or honestly, probably weeks. Once you really have it compounded and everything like that, as long as you have especially if you have like a consistent suggestion working. Like, do you still have the pain relief?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't feel my
Is that
back at
amazing?
all. Yeah. Bro, I don't think you
Life
understand.
changing?
Fucking amazing.
Do you feel so much better?
Yeah, like I do. I feel a lot better now. Like,
Awesome.
without feeling no pain or like no soreness or nothing in my back, I feel a lot better.
Good.
Yeah. I'm happy about that one.
Awesome. All right. So I brought the phone out just to continue recording. This is still part of the session, but so I can send you the video. I'm gonna also I'm gonna need your phone number.
Okay.
Do you want to write down your phone number for me?
Yeah.
Cool. So that'll just I'm gonna send you the video, and I'm gonna send you a list of the suggestions that I'm giving you. Okay.
Okay.
And what we need to do is we need to program a way to so I mean, you kind of get the concept of what hypnotic triggers and cues are and how they work. So like I gave you some other examples, right? Like so like for example with the water thing that happened to me, right? That was cue to deactivate like by certain circumstances.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so based off of like if somebody else were noticing where they were like if it was really too obvious, then the suggestion will turn itself off.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So same type of concept in regards to the timing for suggestions, right? Just beneficial.
No, I get you.
So and how they can be customized and just work like that, right?
Right.
That's a nice thing to have verification in your mind, right? That like you can change the suggestions yourself. I'm gonna have you practice too.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that'll be a nice thing to do to make 100% sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of all right. So all right. Like let's say I want you to feel like okay. I mean, you know what menthol feels like?
Menthol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like the feeling of menthol?
I love menthol.
Okay.
My cigarettes are new. Well, when I used to smoke cigarettes, they was Newports.
Yes. Okay. So like, have you ever used like Vicks?
Vicks?
Vicks, Vapor Up, the menthol stuff. Okay. So like, imagine if you had like menthol and you could put it like in that paste. And it
Like
would,
icy hot?
on your skin. Yes, like ice hot.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what that feels like?
Yes.
Okay. So give yourself a suggestion for that. And so I'm going to give you the suggestion right now that you can give yourself some suggestions, right? And you can activate them like let's see here. So when you're making a new suggestion, all right, there's a couple different things that we could do. Like so temple is kind of like mind, and you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of like going into like Chinese chakras type of concept.
Right.
So
All
I mean
the
like
points and shit.
well yeah, I mean heart has like symbolic
Yeah.
meanings and things like that,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like mind, heart, like I mean this could kind of be like third eye, right?
Heart, tips of your fingers to your tips of your toes.
Yeah. I don't know if
Those are
there's
your
one.
main. Those are your 5 main sources.
Okay, so do you have any idea what you would like for an off button for something?
For an off button?
Yeah.
Only my ear.
Go in your ear?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that for that. And then the on button, what do you want? So like the
So
three
pointing
main
my
ones,
right ear is off, pointing my left ear is on.
that's easy. Okay. We can do that. And then so we can do like a factory default reset too. Are you okay with back ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because it's going back to
Right. No, that
factory
makes sense.
reset. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to program that in you right now. Okay. So I want you to so you're going to be able to make your own suggestion, right? You could do like icy hot. You could do the pine needle thing. Smell,
Right.
Right. You could do taste. You could do music. So go ahead and experiment with one. Just choose one to activate and make sure that's working. Which one did you choose and is it working?
Yeah, I feel the higher of my like rib cage warming up in the ice hot.
Okay.
I feel it warming up. And I smell it too.
All right.
I smell it real good.
Okay. All right. Does that feel good?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah. It calms me down actually. Like
So-
just a second ago I was all shaking and stuff. I'm not shaking at all or nothing no more.
Awesome.
I'm good. Honestly.
So your subconscious knows the functional suggestions and the difference between like the test suggestions, right?
Right.
And I mean, like, so like the functional suggestions are like what I was saying, telling you about like the speech, your ability to control feelings and
Mhm.
sensations, peak performance, the smoothness and everything along those lines, your body dexterity,
Yeah.
the wakefulness, the functional aspects that you want on a daily, day-to-day basis, right?
Yes.
So I want you to the ones that you want, you know what I mean. Like if you want to get rid of some of those, you're free to do so. The factory default reset is going to mostly have the ability to set the left and right wheels. There's a hard program in the factory default reset, right? So then you can add the suggestions back and remove them at will. Those cannot be removed. I'm going to give you the suggestion for you have to give verbal consent to be hypnotized by anybody. Okay. Um, and so um, I'm gonna after I finish, after you after I well, okay. So when I'm ready to test it, right, I'm gonna make sure that you're not responding to my suggestions anymore and out of trance and everything like that, right?
Right.
Okay. And then so like you can tap your nose to go back into hypnotic trance. And I can give you a hypnotic seal if you would like.
Let's wait till next time we found each other.
Okay. Are you gonna be back?
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
You have
Well,
my number though, so
Yeah, and like you can add me on Facebook. You have Facebook?
yeah.
Awesome. So we could video chat through it. So
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
awesome. Cool. So I can follow up with you, and then like I like to give people the ability to like see other hypnotherapists and hypnotists.
Okay.
I'm all about the free will and volition, and like have the person's ecology involved.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like you have the ability to seek care from whoever you would like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Got you.
So I'm gonna so like you have that suggestion, you have to get verbal consent before you can go into trance um, by somebody else, right?
Right.
I mean, you can feel free to go into trance by yourself. Now, one example of a hypnotic seal that can be very beneficial, um, and like hypnotic seals can typically be kind of dangerous sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why it's important to really clarify what I mean by like being ethical and in your best interest, right? So like if anybody ever tries to give you like a hypnotic suggestion that is not in your best interest or that you do not want to accept, you have the ability to reject that. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. That makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So you accept the suggestions that are beneficial to you and that you want,
Right.
and that
Yeah.
you like you can consent to and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, you could even test that too. You know what I mean? Like do a couple test examples, but like like this would be like maybe kind of like a cigarette thing, right?
Right.
Where I had to kind of get you a little bit conditioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just to make sure that you responded properly.
Right. Just to make sure everything worked out.
Yes. All right, and then if you ever have like if you ever have like a okay, so one thing that I noticed was hypnosis can cause like amnesia, like middle of a thought process, right?
Yeah.
Now that can be helpful and beneficial in the context where it is appropriate, right?
Right.
So, like, let's say, for example, if you're in a negative headspace, or like, a very simple example, very common. Sometimes, if I was like depressed or sad, had whatever type of problems bothering me, and it was interfering with my work performance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, I could give you a suggestion like that too.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that and like basically that would be active while you're working or if it is interfering with your daily life. So I want to kind of follow a guideline. So there are three like main guidelines for FDA prescribing,
Right.
right? So like an FDA law mandated like medications can be prescribed for need to be prescribed or are prescribed for under three different circumstances if the symptoms interfere with work, school, or personal relationships, if the symptoms cause severe emotional distress, And I think like actually the third one might have been like the relationships.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this like those are good guidelines.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kind of like for to be able to set those type of suggestions where like you have to have control and composure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like so that can be like emotions and everything along those lines. Because I mean hypnosis can like so for example one thing like PTSD can be treated with hypnosis can cause complete amnesia of traumatic events, right?
Right.
Sometimes it's not best to completely repress and avoid
I did that.
certain things. You know what I mean? Like say for example like if you had a close loved one pass away, right? Like I mean, you could repress that with hypnosis completely and pretend like it never happened, but it's not necessarily healthy to do psychologically for obvious reasons.
Oh yeah. Well,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But like, so for example, like, but with if you're working and you need to keep your job, right?
Yeah.
That's an example where yeah, it can be
It can be turned off during the work, but turned back on afterward.
yeah, and I mean like you can also kind of limit even
How much you feel?
well how much and how long too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And another thing I like to do is kind of like because sometimes you'll have so there's a hierarchy of needs. This is a psychological theory. It's Abraham Maslow. So the hierarchy of needs, it's a pyramid diagram, right? So there's a bottom level, like it's kind of like layers, kind of like the old school food pyramid, right?
Okay, yeah.
So like the fruits and grains being at the bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like so there's 5 different layers, right? So the bottom layer is physiological needs, so that like water, air, sleep, food, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, basic stuff. And then above that is security needs. So that's like safety, shelter, right? Financial stability.
Okay. Yeah.
And then above that is social needs, right? Like where like loneliness comes in or like love, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sexual intimacy is kind of in those kind of range in those 3. You know what I'm saying? And then ego and esteem are next layer up, and then self-actualization is the very top. So ego and esteem, that's kind of like social class, social status, feelings of achievement and accomplishment, right? And then self-actualization is so like that's where okay, like let's say for example you have a goal of like bench pressing 200 pounds, right? Okay, so having the goal, right, of bench pressing 200 pounds is a goal. Now self-actualization is achieving the goal.
Okay.
That's what self-actualization is.
Okay, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah. So like it's also like full potential, achievement.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Success. Now, anyways, so the way that the hierarchy of needs work. So when the more deficient a need becomes, the greater the motivation becomes to resolve that need, and sometimes it can become even like more intolerable. Well, I mean, oftentimes. So, like for example, all right, let's take sleep as a simple example, right? So if you're sleep deprived, right? The more tired you are, the more sleep deprived you are,
Right.
the more the urge, desire, and need,
To go to bed.
to sleep, to fulfill that need becomes.
Yes.
The more intense it becomes. So that's natural, and like a lot of psychological problems, like that, stressors and
Mm-hmm.
emotional difficulties are the same way, right? And sometimes they can be like, it can interfere with other needs in your hierarchy, like work or school or relationships. And so like sometimes those psychological needs can be like, overbearing and counterproductive too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like, like I remember when my grandfather passed away, I was not able to stop thinking about it at all. You know what I'm saying? It was very difficult for me. But like, so it's helpful. It's healthy to like, be able to process these things. You know what I mean? But I always like to add in, a realistic thing to concept or like naturally, right?
Right.
People will improve and resolve these unresolved
Mm-hmm.
psychological distresses. You know what I mean? Over time. So it's kind of like the concept of wanting to put a problem on a shelf and deal with it later. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
And sometimes like that feeling that urge that it's not satisfied can persist. and that's where like it's interfering oftentimes, right? So hypnosis can really help to really be able to, and also with the understanding of the concept being very real too, it makes you feel a lot more comfortable. You know what I mean? In certain circumstances where like, I mean, you've gotten the most that you can, dealing with like thinking about a certain issue, right? Um, at the moment, right?
Right.
And you still need more resolution, but you will be able to obtain that resolution later. So then, like, it's basically like, okay, so like let's say for example you have okay, let's say for example this was that need, right? That psychological unresolved need, right? And you needed to fix the pocket watch, right? Pocket watch wasn't working. As an example, you know what I mean? So like let's say that was my me resolving my grandfather's death, grieving. So the concept being is like, okay, so I mean, I didn't get the pocket watch completely working yet, right? It's like running slow or something, right? And it's definitely something I need to resolve because I love my grandfather to death.
Right.
But what I can do, you know what I mean, because I know that like I have more time to work on it later, and I need to live my life, and also my grandfather would want the best for me. You know what I mean? And knowing that kind of thing, right?
Oh,
Because I have plenty of time to be able to resolve that later. You know what I mean? But there's no point in like trying to waste time fixing the pocket watch. You know what I mean? If it's not going to fix it.
yeah.
So yeah. So it's basically being able to control that need to be able to turn it off until later.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Kind of like turning off the light. You know what I mean? Kind of dimming things down and just moving on to the next thing, whatever that might be. Okay. So can give you that too. Right. And like so like say for example if I would like think all day and all night about my grandpa, right? And then it would be much healthier if it was like okay maybe a couple hours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And much more productive too. You know what I mean? Coming like processing much faster and like getting a lot more done and feeling a lot more resolution from it overall. Because like life is about balance. So that's what you're looking for. Okay. So, like I can help you like so that concept of the hierarchy of needs. I can send you like a little bit of a document kind of explaining it, some of the basics. So then it can help you control and balance your hierarchy of needs as appropriate.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and all right, so I need to do some test suggestions, right? A few more, right? So all right, what I want to do is I'm going to leave the suggestion to put you back into trance, right? By snapping my fingers and saying sleep. And I'm going to put you back in trance. I'm going to remove the suggestion to respond to my suggestions and wake in trance. But you will program your suggestions.
The off on?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. And then I'm going to test first by trying to give you suggestions and make sure that they don't work. Right? And then I'm going to have you make your own suggestions and then make sure that they work. Okay? All right. Can I put you back in trance? Awesome. Sleep? Okay. So I'm removing that suggestion to respond to my suggestions in waking trance. You will be able to make your own suggestions, the right and left ear tugs. You know which one is on and off. And you'll still respond to going back into trance if necessary for the moment. I'm going to go ahead and test the suggestions, test whether or not I can give you suggestions, and you should not respond to suggestions. You will not respond to my suggestions, but you will be able to change your own suggestions. So I'm going to go ahead and wake you up right now. Okay. So I want you to feel the icy hot sensation. Can you feel that? Don't do it yet. Not you. So I'm activating it. I'm trying to test it, right? So like, let's say for example, I become invisible again. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. Can you make me invisible?
Make you invisible?
Yeah. Can you see me?
Oh, bro. I can do that now?
Can you see me?
No.
Okay. Do you want to try to turn it off?
Oh, that's fucking dope. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, all All right. So that's going to be so factor default reset is the back.
Back. Okay.
Yeah. And then I mean like so you have like a lot of the suggestions. Most of them are like you'll probably want to keep. You can alter and change these as you like.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So and all right. So I think basically like that's going to be the gist of it. So you have that, and I mean like you could try to make yourself feel stoned real quick. Do you want to?
Yeah. Like I just smoked that blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And remember, you so like another thing hypnosis can do that stands out a lot. So hypnosis can replicate the feelings and sensations associated with most drugs and medications, and it can also even negate the not only the side effects of medications like dry mouth, right, or nausea or dizziness or whatever that may be,
Yeah.
but it can even negate the effects of it.
Hmm.
So I mean, there's all the range, right? So when you're dreaming, right?
Yeah.
It's like creating your own world.
Oh yes. Most definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's perception. So I mean, like, if you have a broken ankle, you know what I mean. You can't dream that broken ankle to like be healed in all reality, right?
Right.
Now hypnosis can help to improve like your immune system and healing responses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hypnosis can improve your energy levels. Hypnosis can do all kinds of things. I'll send you that list too. You can play around with that.
Yeah.
Now, my last suggestion that I'm going to, advise, right? So not like hypnotic suggestion, but my suggestion, right? Okay. So this is going to be basically, we have to get it compounded, long-term results, right?
Right.
So, this typically like a daily thing. Now, what I could do, this might be actually very helpful too. So like, sleep on set.
Hmm?
Sleep on set. Do you ever have problems sleeping at night?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes? Okay. Because, I mean, you saw how fast you go into a hypnotic trance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, like instantly. Now, with how I described, like, feeling tired and everything along those lines too, right? Okay. So, a suggestion to help you sleep at night. Since that's something that you typically do every day, and I mean, you could have control over it. It's a suggestion. I advise it, but I mean, we could do something else. But like basically, it's just practicing. I mean, like okay, it could be as simple as I'll give you an example, right? So, simple stage hypnosis example trick is like okay, like it's kind of like a funny thing, right? So like if you have like a bunch of volunteers on stage, right? Okay, hypnotizing a person to feel like they had like a pinch on their butt, right? Pinching their rump. And like they're gonna think like it was the person that was sitting next to them, right? So I mean, like you can imagine like a pinch is very short, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that long. You know what I mean? But basically something that like you notice consciously. You know what I mean? And just triggered on a daily basis. So I mean, like for example, like every time you brush your teeth or shower or something along those lines, you could have a feeling or sensation. I don't know. It could like I mean we have the list and stuff like that, but basically I advise something along those lines. Like maybe it could be like every day at 4:20 you feel stuff. That it's not a bad one, but I mean you might not always notice 4:20.
Right.
But like so the reason why I like advise the alarm or the night thing, right? It's the sleep thing, is because those are things that people do every day.
Right.
Now, let's say, for example, another simple one. I mean, it could be as simple as like, okay, you have like a strong scent of pine, just noticeable. You know what I mean? Like noticeable enough. Like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely hypnotized. Suggestions are working awesome, right? Every time you eat breakfast or your first meal of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Or every time you have a cup of coffee.
Right.
If you have a cup of coffee every day.
Okay.
I mean, typically humans will eat every day, so yeah. I mean, that's an example of why. Because it's habitual. In order for things to become a habit,
You
typically
need to
like
make it a basic thing. make it into an order.
Well,
Matter.
if you associate it.
Right.
So like by hypnotic triggers, right? So like for example, okay, one of the unethical things, right? There was a woman that was hypnotized to go into like deep hypnotic trance whenever she saw the color green, and she was misdiagnosed with narcolepsy and lost her driver's license because of it. Messed up, right?
Damn, yeah.
Yeah. But like, so I mean, like, just a color could trigger it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Could trigger a suggestion. Now, what I want to do for you is obviously something that's not intrusive, like maybe as brief as like the pinch thing, or like maybe like a whiff of pine or something like that, or like 10 seconds, 15 seconds of pine scent. You know what I mean? And that maybe that could be like when you wake up or before you go to bed.
Right.
And like, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, would you be like opposed to something like that, or I mean,
honestly, probably not, because my sleep schedule is such on a good schedule right now. Like everything works out.
that's
like,
awesome.
yeah, sometimes it is a little hard to fall asleep. Like once I lay down, I usually pass out.
Okay, cool.
And then
that's good.
I usually get between 5 and 7 hours of sleep.
Okay. I mean, hypnosis can definitely improve your quality of sleep too. If you wanted, I could help you program a suggestion to use as needed. If you wanted.
Okay.
Okay. So, what I want you to do is, all right. Last time that you fell, like, okay, we want it to be good memory, right? Like good memory, as in like very easy to recall.
Right.
Vivid memory. So, a vivid memory of when you fell asleep easy. Right. So this could be like one example why I used sometimes extreme examples are easy, right? Because it's so intense.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it more vivid, right? So like for example, I remember like I fell asleep at work before, right? And I know all the feelings associated with that and how sudden it was. And I mean sometimes that can be really good because like when you're fighting sleep, right? That's like then your subconscious kind of gets the idea. Okay, so I'm gonna fall asleep that fast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like where like if you need the suggestion to work, then like you can't even resist the suggestion because it's so effective. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I do too.
Like have you ever so we could have you recall a memory like that if you've ever had something like that happen, where you fell asleep on accident maybe because you couldn't stay awake, or where you almost nodded out. Do you have any memories like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'd have you do is basically go through like a little guided imagery on it, right? And remember it. Go kind of through the feelings and stuff like that. And so I'm not gonna have you actually fall asleep. Instead, I will have you I could have you basically almost like near the brink of falling asleep, and then right where you're like, okay, I might actually fall asleep right now. Maybe like feel wide awake and alert, right? And then maybe go back into that one more time, and then right back out. Just to kind of ensure that you have that condition in your mind. Okay. So then, and then you could there's multiple different psychological aspects of that, but like your subconscious knows what it is, and it had a little bit of conditioning and practice, repetition.
Right.
You know what I mean? Strengthening it.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do that, and I have you so the place that you were at. Imagine what that felt like, right?
I got you.
And then so I have you go back into trance, and then I do that. Right, give you those suggestions, have you test it. So you do it 2 times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And do you have a specific incident, or do you want to just kind of general feeling?
General feeling.
Okay. So all right. So I have to be a little bit more vivid and descriptive. Okay. So I'm going to have you close your eyes. I'm going to put you in trance, give you the suggestions, and then I'm going to take you out. Okay. So close your eyes. So the feelings like you're feeling like very, very extremely tired. It's as if like you didn't sleep at all. You know what I mean? And you're trying to stay focused. You're trying to stay alert. you're trying your best to keep your eyes open. You can't even open your eyes. Like you can barely keep your eyes open. They keep closing. You keep losing concentration. You're just so exhausted. You remember that feeling exactly. And then you nodded off and you woke up and you're like, no, I wasn't supposed to fall asleep. It was an accident. I fell asleep by accident. And that might have been a stressful situation. And the nice thing about how distressful that was is that you're going to be able to use that to your advantage now. And it's going to help you be able to sleep. Sleep. All right. So now we got you back into trance. And what you're going to do is you're going to feel that sensation where you can barely keep your eyes open. You're just like about to pass out. It'll take you less than 30 seconds to almost fall asleep. As soon as you get to the point where you're about to fall asleep, you're going to jolt awake. Like high energy, like, whoa, jump up. You're going to literally jump up out from where you're standing afterwards. And then after you jump up, you're going to sit back down, and then you're going to fall right back into almost deep sleep, and then you're going to jolt back up awake again. Okay? And then you'll be able to do with that simple suggestion as you please in the future, and program that with your tugging your right and left ear. So I'm going to go ahead and wake you up right now. So we're going to go ahead and activate that suggestion. So 3, 2, 1. You feel tired? Do you feel tired?
Tired? No.
Did it not work?
I don't know.
Okay. You had it pretty vivid in your mind, didn't you?
I had it in my mind.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like I know when you snap your fingers right before you snap your fingers. Like I know like that's what's gonna make me go like.
Okay. Let me try. I have another idea. Can I put you back in trance?
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, I remember. All right. See. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have you respond to my suggestions just until we get this part done. And what you're going to do is I'm going to give you eye lock when you wake up back from this trance. And then with the eye lock, we're going to also compound that with feeling tired and drowsy. So wake up. Okay. So can you, you're going to feel like you're having difficulty keeping your eyes open. Your eyes are getting heavier and heavier. They feel like, like those bricks on them are as heavy as bricks. You can barely keep your eyes open. When your eyes are closed, you can't even open them if you try. You're going to have to try your absolute hardest to keep them open. To open them. You can't even open them if you try to. Now you can open them. Okay. So your eyelids are getting heavier and heavier again. Now you're feeling more and more tired. You're going to become, your eyelids drop as fast as you become tired. Only at the rate that you feel sleepy, you need to feel tired and sleepy as if you're going to fall asleep. And when you're not going to be able to open your eyes, and you're going to feel like you're barely able to keep your eyes open after I snap my fingers, and you're going to feel so tired that you can barely keep your eyes open as if you're nodding off. And I'm going to wake you up right now, and then when I count down from 3 to 1, you're barely going to be able to keep your eyes open. You're going to feel so tired that you can barely keep your eyes open. 3, 2, 1. Barely keep your eyes open. You feel exhausted and tired, like you're going to pass out right now. And as soon as you get to that point where you're almost about to pass out, you're going to go away and jump up there. Did that work? Okay. Now you do it one more time. And this time, it's just going to be the snap of the fingers. I don't have to condition you for it. You know what to do. You know what it feels like. So. All right. And, okay. So I just have to put you back in trance to take away the ability for me to give you suggestions. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Grab your phone.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. Just like, when you fall in trance and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to be put back in trance?
Yes.
Okay. Sleep. Okay. So, removing the suggestion to respond to my suggestions outside of trance. You have complete control and volition of your free will. You will be able to program your suggestions again with your right and your left ear. You'll be able to remember that. All the suggestions that are beneficial to you that you like. you can keep, and you can remove them if necessary. You have that factory default reset. So generalized idea is, like back of the head, but that's going to be there. Entire head doesn't matter. You just have to touch the back of your head. Even if you touch your ear on accident, it doesn't even matter. It'll work. And you can change the factory default reset, but you cannot change the ears or the factory default reset button or the suggestion to go back into a hypnotic trance if you ever need anybody else to put you into a hypnotic trance for any reason at all whatsoever. But you need to provide verbal consent in order for it to work. So I am let's see. Okay, I'm gonna wake you up from this trance now. And you have to provide me verbal consent before I can put you back into trance. So I'm going to try to test it. I'm going to try to put you back to sleep without you providing me verbal consent, just to make sure that you do not go back into trance, because you need to provide me verbal consent before you can go back into trance. And this is for your safety. So wake up. Okay. So I'm testing it. Sleep. Okay. It worked anyways. So, all right. Let's see here. When you wake up from this trance, I want you to feel the icy hot sensation all over your head, right? You're going to remember you do not go back into trance until you provide me verbal consent to do so. You have to provide verbal consent every time somebody puts you into trance. It doesn't work otherwise. It does not work. You know that because you have that feeling. It's going to be an incredible sensation. Once you notice that, you're going to smell the pine, and you're going to give me a cue by blinking your eyes 3 times. So you're going to smell the pine, and then you're going to blink your eyes 3 times to tell me that you know not to fall asleep when I snap my fingers and say sleep, unless you give me verbal consent to do so. And you're not responding to my suggestions in and out of trance anymore. It is only when you're in trance for your benefit. So wake up. Okay. How do you feel?
Besides my hair poked me in the eye, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smell anything? Smell anything?
Pine?
Do you feel like blinking? Okay, cool. So if I do this, sleep. Awesome. Sleep.
I like the smell.
Yeah, sleep.
I like that smell a lot.
Awesome, cool. So, you know why I did that, right? You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
I know you're trying to make sure that my sleeping, like, I'm able to go to sleep when I want to, so
No, just barely.
Oh, like just a second ago?
Yeah, like why I had you smell the pine and the icy hot when snapping my fingers.
To make sure that I won't go back into the trance.
Yeah, so it doesn't work. Right. Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep. Awesome. Good.
Yeah, wow.
So, and those are kind of simple reminders. So if you need practice or you need a little bit of advice.
Right.
So, kind of like, that's a way that you can kind of really make sure that the suggestions start working.
Okay.
And if you noticed how I had to use some type of sometimes I had to use like vivid recall of memories, right? To be able to help you decide what type of suggestions you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? And intensify the experience and make sure that it's effective. Because you had a lot of suggestions that were like not effective, and I got them effective for you.
Nice, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you know how to do it too.
Yeah.
Okay. I can send you like all kinds of things too. I could send you.
Yeah.
I could send you like a course on how to do instant inductions.
That'll be cool. Fucking A. Hell yeah.
In fact, I'll teach you how to do a basic handshake induction right now. Do you want to?
Yeah, real quick before I have to go. Because what time is it?
So.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You gotta go right now?
6:09. I was supposed to be out there by 6.
Okay. You're good to go. Do you feel like you need to smoke? Not at all? Okay. I could offer you a cigarette if you wanted it, but
No, I'm good.
Do you not want it at all?
I don't want it.
Okay. Are you happy?
Yeah. I'm good.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Hey, give me a hug, man. I'm glad I could help you.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
I fucking appreciate that.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time with you, so that was... say 2 hours and 19 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Do you want to stop the video?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to swipe it to unlock it. And I got your phone number.